Okay. First of all, everybody listening, we're starting like 2 hours late. It's partially my fault, but also like the universe. But I told JC it'd be funnier if I just like updated him live.
Okay, I really got to just get the context of partially. So before we even get into the intro shit, what the fuck happened, Ryan?
Okay, so just to get a baseline, there's like 6 fans and an air conditioner running in here, so whatever noise everybody's hearing, that's definitely me. We're just gonna live with it because we're in triple digits. I think I mostly sound okay, but if I have a little bit of a lisp, it's because my mouth is full of gauze. Like,
yep,
you can kind of tell.
Yep.
And I get to take it out when it stops bleeding, which as of like 5 minutes ago, it hadn't yet. Also, I'm going to explain this thing. So,
for the audio listeners, he had a gauze taped to his arm.
Yeah, I got a thing. Earlier today, I mean, this is a busy couple weeks anyway. I'm in the middle of a bunch of like good deadlines, but deadlines and stuff. So I'm just working and everything. I'm working on some music for a big project. And also got a bunch of stuff going on this week. But I set aside time to watch these 2 episodes, this one and the next one, like normal, before we record. And that was around, I want to say 4 or 5. It was like right around when I'd probably be eating dinner or something. Mm-hmm. And I watched the first episode, took some notes, and then I ate dinner. And I was like picking lettuce out of my teeth with a salad. And I was in the bathroom mirror, and I noticed like a bump on my gums. So I've had this before, and anybody's been following my dental saga, there's a tooth that has been through 4, maybe 5, at least 4 attempts to remove this infection, has come back now about 1.5 years over and over again. And I was like, what are the chances that's just food? And so I I took a picture of it just in case, which is a good thing I did.
Do not send that to me.
And
we will fight if you send that to me.
And I mean, it doesn't look bad. It looks like a zit on your gums, you know. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go with don't send that to me.
As I took a picture of it, and then I went and go to try to move it like it was a piece of lettuce or something, and it just burst like a teenage acne, you know. And I was like, cool. My dental surgeon specifically told me if that specific thing happened to let him know, like if I got another bump, and this was bigger than the other one.
Yep.
Anyway, so I called the dentist office. This so happens to be the day they're open late. They always have like one day a week where they're open like later. And I called him, and he was like, so this is one of those things where like it could just be unrelated and like nothing, just a weird thing, because obviously I have a weird dental situation anyway.
Yeah.
Or you should just come in. I was like, oh, okay, like now? He's like, yeah, let's come in now. I was like, okay. So I just drove over, and he's like, it's just going to be a checkup, whatever. It's probably nothing. He got in there, and he's like, oh, okay, well, let's take an x-ray. Took an x-ray. He's like, this actually looks better than the last time we did, because I'm not supposed to be due for a checkup for like another until like January. Just check on the surgery they just did. He's like, actually looks better. Let's do a CT scan. So as I'm waiting for them to set up the CT scan, I text JC. I was like, hey, I'm about to find out if I'm going to be late tonight or not. It's probably nothing.
And I figured it was like work related, and then he sends me the picture of just his arm with the patch on it, and now looking at it in hindsight, it's the dental mat sitting on your chest. I was like,
and we haven't even gotten to that text yet. So like, then they do the CT scan, and then he looks at it. By now it's been about 45 minutes because he went in there and like looked at different stuff and everything, and he's like, so. It's not good. It looks like, because this is a tooth that we like that had like 2 root canals and crown and everything on it. He's like, it looks like it failed, and like for like the last surgery they did, it was like the last ditch thing, and they're like, so we're probably gonna have to just like remove the tooth and go into the implant like your other ones. I was like, God, and it's gonna be another year, right? You know, and of just all this. And I was like, oh my God, okay. And he's like, but just to make sure, I want to open it up and see for myself, because he was just looking through a CT scan thing. And then I texted you like, I'm finding out like how much longer this is gonna take. And then he opens me up, and I mean, you know, anesthesia and everything. He opens me up, and then he's like, okay, so this is a roller coaster. It went from like nothing to like worse, and he's like, okay, so not good, but not the worst thing. my body rejected the bone graft they put in there for the last surgery. So he's like, that's not good, but it's good we caught it now because we can try something else. So that wasn't necessarily the last stitch. Now I'm on the last stitch. So he's like, because the bone graft got rejected by my body, I don't know how this works. So anybody that's God, I look ridiculous with camera. There's gauze.
I was gonna say the gauze right now looks like you have a tooth that's like snaggletooth out right to the side.
Okay. It's funny because it just needs to be like really far out there. It doesn't have to be on the tooth. I just can't feel anything because I'm still numb.
I'm gonna suggest when you're doing the edit on this, Rod, anytime that you're like adjusting your mouth, you just put like a black bar over your mouth so we don't get like TOS violations on YouTube or something.
And so he's like, okay, so and if anybody understands any dental stuff, I don't know how this works, but he's like, I have to draw your blood and we're gonna make a bone graft out of that. So then
I understand dental stuff. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
So they took a good chunk of, I don't know how much a good chunk is. I don't like the sight of blood, so I just like went somewhere else in my head while they took it. And then I messaged you this picture because the process to turn the blood into a bone graft took like 10 minutes with whatever machine they use.
Yeah.
And then they continued with the surgery, and it just escalated like very quickly because it went from like, oh, it's fine, like, and if there's anything we need to do, we can schedule it for a few weeks out, to like, we have to do this right now. Like at what is it, like 6:30, 7 p.m. on a Thursday at a dentist. And then it went from the one doctor and the assistant to like 4 different doctors, and then they ended up pulling in like 2 or 3 dental students because this is so weird. And he was explaining he's like, there's this crazy amount of anomalies happening here. I was like, cool. And anyway, so then that got finished, and that's when I messaged you like, hey, we should still do this tonight.
So I just want to point out, as Rod is telling me this shit, my concern is not, are we recording tonight? I'm literally saying, if you're not up to this tonight, let's pick a different night. And he's the one who said, no, let's do it tonight.
I was like, we should do it tonight because, like, it's not going to get easier. Like, this month is going to get busier. And I feel like if I keep pushing stuff off, like, things are just going to get more insane. Because today escalated so quickly.
I said we do not have to do this tonight.
And also, I'm not high. Like, they didn't put me under. There wasn't enough time for that.
Great.
So, maybe halfway through recording, the anesthesia wears off. And then I'm just like a little more irritated. Hopefully I'll be able to pull this gauze out before the next episode.
Hopefully.
But otherwise it's just kind of like an inconvenience and escalated very quickly. Anyway, this is the longest intro we've had.
Cue the music. Welcome to Cyclops is Waiting for Me, an X-Men animated recap podcast with Wolverine and the X-Men, episode 17, Code of Conduct. I am JC.
And I'm Rod. If you're watching us, you just saw that whole intro. You know why my mouth looks like this. If you're listening, I don't know, I guess you still kind of know. You should watch the video. This is an incentive to watch the video, how ridiculous I look right now. I'm a little swollen. Not as bad as I thought I was. My face felt like it was this big when I left the doctor's office. And then,
see, I don't know what's from the swelling and what's from the gauze in your mouth at this point.
Little column A, little column B. But anyway, we're going to get through this before the anesthesia wears off. Cyclops is Waiting for Me is our bi-weekly podcast series where we're going back and watching every single X-Men animated episode we can find. This podcast started with the original 1992 X-Men animated series building up to the release of X-Men 97. Along the way, we've completed X-Men Evolution and launched a companion interview show, the Xavier Files. And now that we have it confirmed that Season 2 of X-Men 97 will be dropping in 2026, we're dedicating this year to all of Wolverine and the X-Men.
Some quick reminders, we're a recap show about a series that started over 15 years ago. There will be spoilers, and if you don't want it spoiled for you, you should probably pause the podcast, watch the episode on whatever service you have, and then come back. We're not currently sponsored or affiliated with Marvel Animation, Disney, or Disney Plus in any way.
I pulled the gauze out. I think it stopped bleeding.
It automatically sounds better, I'm not going to lie.
I think it stopped bleeding, but if you happen to notice any blood dripping down my face because I can't feel it, then just let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay. I wrapped it up in a credit card application, so we'll figure out where to put that. There we go.
Amazing.
Also, another incentive to watch is Lucy's back here sleeping. I'm actually surprised she doesn't have a hoodie on, and she's good. It's just way too hot to be wearing a hoodie.
Yeah.
Because even with the AC on and everything, I think I'm still in the 80s inside. Anyway, don't forget to follow us on social media at Cyclops IWFM Pod on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Facebook. Are we still on Blue Sky?
I mean, I never took us off of Blue Sky. I'm not actively posting there because nobody is. The only spot we're not posting is at all is Twitter. I just refuse to put anything on the trash bag site.
I hadn't logged into Twitter in a year, or I guess like about a year, and then one of our mutual friends like sent me like a news article and happened to be a Twitter link, and I was like, okay, I'm reading this because of you, but this is the only time I've logged in.
So, real quick, before we get into the episode, this is the first time we are recording since San Diego Comic-Con has wrapped up. I just want to say, and I'm sure everybody who is there in person saw the reaction on my face, I was so overwhelmed by the amazing response we got for the meetup that we and the crew from the Uncanny Experience, as well as How to Group Cosplay panel participants, all co-promoted on it. It was wild how many of you showed up to be a part of it. Those who knew in advance and were coming to it, as well as some of our friends who were walking by fellow X-Men on the way to the meetup and recruited them on the fly and then joined us. Thank you everybody who joined on that one. Photos, we're going to keep a Instagram highlight on the profile that has a link to a Google Drive that has stuff from Happy Trigger LA, Jim, who is our main photographer, and then anybody else who has photos that they would like to share with people, just kick me a DM. I will add it to it. But yeah, that was awesome having that many people show up for it. So
it looked great. You had a killer Evolution Rogue, right?
Yep, I did awesome. Evolution Rogue for it. So and the funniest moments were a few different people, including AJ Lacasio, said, "This is my favorite version of Rogue."
Oh, that's awesome. So, like your display, or like that version, or both?
Goth Rogue. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes. I don't think AJ was hitting on me. Don't worry. Punker Donkey would literally have me murdered.
I just mean just in general, the cool cosplays, because I don't cosplay, so the idea of anybody cosplaying, is amazing to me. The only cosplays I'm ever upset with are the guys who don't know what kind of thing to wear when they're wearing spandex,
the dancer's belt.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm ever upset about. Because
PSA for any Spider-Man or Deadpool cosplayers: if you're wearing spandex, make sure your junk is kept tight.
Mostly around children is the biggest.
Yeah,
thing.
Nobody wants to see that. Also from Comic-Con, got to see a bunch of the cast of the show. Got a few more things like various Topps cards signed. Got to meet for the first time ever Ray Chase, the voice of Cyclops. So that circle has been closed. Got to meet him. He's fantastic. Also, there was one of the story board designers who was in Artist Alley just unexpectedly. He just had a table, and I saw on his table there was a sign that he did that. He goes by The Franchise is his name. He's linked in one of the pictures that I posted from it. And then finally a surprise appearance at I'm forgetting the name of the artist booth, and I'm very, very sorry about that, but there was Eric Bauza, who is the voice of the Sentinels, who's doing a surprise appearance. Wasn't even really promoted in advance, just saw it on the table, and I went back the next day. And Eric signed my cover of the Hellfire Gala that everyone has signed, which I think is more signature than artwork now at this point. Pictures are on our Instagram of that. Eric is also, for those who don't know, the voice of Bugs Bunny in the modern Looney Tunes.
Oh, that's awesome.
So when I gave him one of our pins, he was like, "Oh, do you have something I could draw on?" And I had the backing board to the comic that had been getting signed by everybody, and he gave me an original sketch of Bugs Bunny as well as signing that for it. So
wait, so he can draw and do voice?
Yeah, it's in the Instagram photo of my haul of Comic-Con, and it shows it there. And he drew Bugs in 45 seconds, and it's a pretty damn good Bugs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was at home I was in the studio catching up on work, but what was funny is the night I was supposed to be at Comic-Con, it was for the Hasbro gem thing and everything.
Yep.
I ended up getting food poisoning from vegan sushi, so I ended up leaving the studio anyway. But kind of fun little connect though. Britta Phillips, the singing voice of Gem that I interviewed for my music podcast.
Yes.
She was there doing a panel, but she was also signing. And I think one of the booths she was signing at was with Guy from X-Men 97. So,
did she do the Prism booth? That sound right?
That sounds right, I think.
Yeah, that's a LGBT comics company.
Very cool.
Guy did an appearance at that booth. I know that.
So I like texted her and I was like, hey, say hi to Guy for me.
Nice. And then to wrap up the "Our lives are fucking weird," I get a text message from Rod telling me that, oh, if you get the chance, say hi to the All American Rejects at the fandom party. I told them you were coming.
Oh yeah, did you get to see him?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
That party was packed the fuck out.
I've seen so many videos from that, because didn't a Brandon Routh make an appearance with the Rejects?
Okay. Last thing I'll say about Comic-Con, and then we will get into this episode, and the reason why I didn't have a problem doing all this shit at the beginning of the episode is I wrote really few notes about this episode. It's actually not a very beefy episode. The party was so packed that the bar at any point, because of course it was an open bar party too, was like 3 to 4 people deep.
Oh, okay.
About the time that the Rejects went on stage, you couldn't get to the bar. They did have a Mike's Harder Lemonade sponsor at the party, though. And that was not get it at the bar. They had like the little mini satellite bars.
Yeah, you could just walk around.
That those girls were just like handing it out. And
Nice.
Drunk John made the life choice of, oh, I'll just do this because it's quicker.
Ugh.
And I consumed 3 Mike's Harder Lemonades on top of having started at a happy hour at like 5 o'clock that day. Never got sick. Wish I got sick. And to the detriment of my roommates at Comic-Con, I got back to the hotel room, and at 2 a.m, I had a 30-minute hiccup fit that would not stop until literally 2:30 in the morning.
Mike's Harder. Gives you hiccups.
Dude, Mike's Harder. That it was quick, but it was a life choice.
I don't think I've had Mike's since like it was just Mike's Hard, and that was probably when I was like in college or something, like a while back.
I can't tell you if it was good or not because I was already like so deep in vodka sodas at that point, but I definitely felt it.
So it sounds like I had a better review just by everybody else's videos, because like
I mean, I got up right next to the stage at one point. So
the Rejects they posted a video where they pulled Spider-Man up on stage. And I don't know if they were playing a song or it was the intro or outro to the song, and then Spider-Man took his mask off and it was Brandon Routh. I was like, oh, what a cool like moment for those guys and stuff. But yeah, they're killing it with everything they're doing right now.
Now, on to the show. Today, we're going to be talking about Season 1, Episode 17, titled Code of Conduct. It aired on August 21st of 2009.
I'm the one
talking like you. Yeah. And it currently sits at a 7.2 star rating on IMDb, and I did not fix the script because I said it was tied for the second highest rated episode of the series. That is not accurate. To be totally honest, I thought this was even lower. I thought this could have been like a 6.8 or a 7, honestly.
I mean, I don't necessarily think it was like, I mean, there's parts of it that were questionable, but like overall, I could tell this is one of those episodes that they were like, we need something that we can be like an emergency, break in case of emergency, like so we can air at any time. Because
it was definitely a bottle episode.
Yeah, because it didn't tie to anything else, and it was the real tell was at the beginning, no previously on. It just like jumped into the story.
Jumps to Rod's point, goes right into Wolverine pulling up right to the front of the Institute at night, and he walks through the door and starts sniffing. He pops his claws because he sees that the door is cracked open, and then did you think this was a ghost story at the beginning?
No, so my first note was like, he smells Sabretooth, romantic music.
Okay, yes, same. But I mean, when you go in and then you see Smokey Bobby and Smokey Ninja, I was like, it did not give the appearance or like the vibe to me that he was smelling what he was seeing.
So it did for like a split second, just when Bobby appeared. He's such kind of like a generic character model,
right?
that I didn't know was him right away. I was like, oh, maybe it is a ghost thing. But like, I quickly, when I recognized it was him, I was like, I don't know how I remembered this, but I remembered like in this show, Wolverine has like that Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock Holmes vision with his smell.
Yeah.
We can
what I call the Arkham vision from Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is that thing. It still weirds me out though, because like, I don't know. I think at the time the show came out, we weren't supposed to think about it that hard, but like, I was just like, there's like so much information here. Like people he's never seen before. Like,
I just guess I don't like the visual of how they chose to present it, because it was like wispy lines that gave me the impression of ghosts, and then although you go through the episode and you find out these are just ninja, they are not hand ninjas.
Yeah.
The hand has a supernatural aspect to them that involves like ghosts and undead and shit like that. So at the beginning, before they actually mentioned that it's the Yakuza, I was just like, is he seeing it replay like actually from like a ghost aspect of it, which we find out is not the case.
I think it was wispy though, because it was supposed to be like the scent, which is confusing.
Yeah,
but it's kind of dumb.
In hindsight, I totally get it, but the initial like gray see-through vibes, I was just like, what? Yeah,
I forget if it was this episode or another. I think it was the next episode. There was like this thing and then one other small thing in the next episode. It was like, it's not a bad thing, it's just you could tell like someone who wasn't like absolutely obsessed with X-Men wrote this story, because there's like very small details that even I kind of like, you know, it's like, oh, that was a weird choice of words for that specific thing. I'll try to remember.
Are you going to point those out to me and shock me like the last episode?
I don't think I have anything like, oh, there's a stock image copyrights on the page.
Which by the time this episode goes live, I will have added that to the official IMDb for that episode.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. Yep. But then he kind of goes through the mansion, sees various people from the team get knocked out. The only one that I thought was like really notable from all of it was Kitty is at the dinner table. She gets gas because they have throwing stars that are not used for murder, and they just expel like knockout gas.
Yeah.
And she starts to phase, goes through the table, but regains her form from being fully knocked out before she like crashes on the ground. So yeah.
Also, the way it timed, she watched was a Beast.
Yeah, she watched Beast get knocked out and did not react to it. No. But then after you get all the replays of the entire team getting knocked out, Rogue is tied up in the end of the hallway, says that it's somebody that he knows and he's never going to see the X-Men again unless he comes and fights him tomorrow. And that was the reveal where it was a Silver Samurai. So, which was that a shock for you that it was him? For some reason, because I had the hand stuck in my head, he wasn't actually even on my radar, honestly.
The thumbnail spoiled it for me.
Oh, did it? I got through without seeing the thumbnail.
Yeah, because I went to go click on it, I saw him on there, and I was like, oh, okay. I forget if we haven't seen him yet in this series, right?
No,
okay.
We have not.
Cool. But it's kind of funny.
He also wasn't even in Evolution, so...
Oh, okay. So the last time we saw him was in 92.
Well, right? We saw him in 97.
I guess 97. Oh, yeah.
He was on, like, the group of people reacting to the Magneto EMP.
I think that's the thing, too, is, like, his design is so specific, it varies very little between iterations.
Yeah, I was actually a little shocked that we saw him outside of his suit, like, because we haven't gotten that in the show, in any of the shows so
I'm
far,
so glad that they did exposition talk for those, because I would not have known that was him.
So, goes into the intro, comes back. Logan has taken the time to throw on his gray suit. They're really, like, getting their money out of the stealth suit designs. And then, at first, I didn't know if it was, like, the shading or whatever, but Rogue is also in a gray stealth suit, too. Like, even her, like, jacket has gone, like, into the gray range and stuff like that.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until the next scene, but I was like, well, the jacket was the thing that got me. It's like, they went to the effort of getting every piece of clothing.
Yeah. Whatever your own personal customized outfit was, you have an alternate version, and it has to just be because Warren paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nanites.
So Rogue is, where do you think you're going? And Wolverine's ready to go. And she does the, like, I hate to call it this, but it's the cop thing of, like, reaching over and turning the keys on the bike to turn it off. And she's like, well, what is this all about? And he goes, a woman. And she's like obviously not happy about that. We still haven't gotten resolution as to why she lost trust in him at the beginning of this season, right? Or the beginning of the series, right?
I guess it's supposed to just be general, like she doesn't feel like she can depend on him because he just takes off randomly, but that's his character.
So we still haven't gotten this from him. Here's my biggest fear now, dude. If we go through the entire season and they never resolve it, and I will lose my fucking mind.
We'll talk about this in a little bit because they... Oh, no, actually, they do talk about it here. He says it was about a woman, and he was like, it was a few years ago. And I was like, what the... Okay, so this blows my whole idea of the timeline. Because I thought it was at least a decade. Like, minimum, right? Like, another life.
I think he's just saying a few years, but I'd imagine he's been with the team for, like, 8 years or something like that. I don't think he left, came back... or like came to the team, then went back to Japan, did his thing, and then went back to the X-Men. Yeah, I think this was just like poor phrasing, that it was actually like a decade ago too.
Oh, okay, because he said a few years ago. I was like, wait, what? This whole like Weapon X, everything like.
No, this is post Weapon X, pre team.
Okay,
is which would also be consistent with the character as an overall too.
Okay,
so it's the flashback. And you see Mariko, but at first when they showed her her silhouette, she had her hands in front and like the long kimono.
Oh.
And at the angle, I thought it was showing she was pregnant.
Oh, gotcha.
Because it had the hand bump is where the baby bump would be in a stylized character.
Secret babies, man.
Secret babies. So... you get more exposition about Harada, who we know is the Silver Samurai, and he was a part of the nobility and, you know, on his way up into the Yakuza, and they basically were doing a fight to the death. Here's the choice that I completely disagree with in this entire episode, where they talk about his power to energize his sword. Throughout both of their fights, in the flashback and the ones in the modern day, his sword is powered up throughout them. Like, it doesn't look like he held back on his powering up of his sword.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Wait, so like it's not when it's just wavy, like.
Right, but that's the thing is like he's not supposed to be using a special sword. So when that thing has like flashing and shit like that means he's literally using his power at every single time.
Yeah, so I kind of had to concede at that first fight when they're like no powers. I was like, okay, how does that work? Because like, it's not like Wolverine can like turn off his skeleton or his healing and stuff, and he's really. I
guess for Wolverine, it's just you can't pop your claw.
Yeah, but I mean, still being like healing instantly and being really strong, like, still has its advantages.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, if he gets stabbed and you go by modern comic logic, he can get stabbed through the heart with a sword. As soon as the sword comes out, his body's going to start healing from it. So.
Yeah.
And I want to say by this 2000s era, he was already starting to hit that like overpowered like grouping. So it wouldn't be out of character for him to be able to survive a literal stab through the head or the heart or something like that.
Or even just like having like the normal, like the like lesser amount of healing and stuff. That's still like a power that would be an advantage during a fight. You know, like that I'm not aware of him being able to turn off. So it was like an interesting thing for, especially a third party to say, and be like, how are they watching and enforcing that? Yeah. This is interesting.
So Wolverine wins the fight. He does the, just yield, give up. And Harada obviously doesn't want to, but Mariko says, you have to leave for forever. And we don't have a ton of insight at that point as to why she's like, doesn't matter that you win, even though you fought for me, that she just wants him out of there. Back in the modern day, they end up at the Japanese embassy and they're like, sneaking in. Rogue is asking questions about like, why would she make you leave? Like kind of what I was just alluding to. Wolverine is like sniffing around and he knows like how many cooks were in the kitchen and stuff like that. Like his scent is the most emphasized power for the first quarter of this episode, and then it never comes back.
Yeah. It's a plot, not plot armor, but
plot device.
Yeah. Just like plot's vision. I don't know.
Yeah.
He sees whatever he needs to see to move things forward.
Yeah. So he realizes from the tea that he smells that Mariko is going to be in there, and he basically tells Rogue to wait. And they have like this really awkward, will they, won't they? Mm-hmm. But it feels like he's into it, and she's like not having it. But obviously, he's not forcing anything. Scenario.
Yeah, and she even said like, I told you to never, see me again. Yeah. He's like, well, you're the one that came to New York, so.
Yeah, you're literally in my city right now. Yeah, so she, is like, yes, I will tell you where he has your friends if you don't fight him and you promise to never see me again. So Wolverine is like, done. Like, that's all he wants at this point, because he realizes whatever future there is with her, it's not going to happen.
She also explains that the reason he came after her or him was because he's being considered for the Yakuza, and he has to have like a undefeated track record. So he has to, what did she say? Wipe
clean his slate.
Yeah. And then Wolverine points out like, and if you just asked me, I would have told him to bug off. So he forced his hand by like kidnapping his friends, and now everything in the beginning makes sense, because it's like, why did he leave Rogue behind? It's like, to be the messenger and all this stuff. But also, I feel like normally Wolverine would be a little bit smarter than, but at the same time, they got all his friends, so he's acting quickly.
Yeah. So she agrees. She tells him, they're in this warehouse that has a Sakura on the side of it, which is a big decoration to put on the side of your warehouse.
Yeah.
And before she could even like turn to say goodbye, Wolverine has already left. Rogue had listened in on it, and then you get like, to your point, thank God there was exposition here, or you wouldn't have known that was him. But it was basically like, you betrayed me. It's because somebody's gonna die, and you're worried it's gonna be him. And then Mariko's like, no, I'm worried it's gonna be you. And then the closest thing to domestic abuse that they could show on a children's cartoon was shown, because he basically did the like, why I oughta, and he like hauled back like he was gonna slap her, and I was like, are they gonna show that? And obviously they didn't, but it was the most thinly veiled of references,
Yeah, I'm surprised they went even that far, because like this was years after the whole like Jersey Shore thing. Remember when Snooki got slapped in the bar, and that was like a scandal. Was that?
So that was 2009, and I know it was the same year.
Oh, okay.
And I know this because when I was at WWE, one of the characters that I was working on pre-Jersey Shore coming out was Zack Ryder doing his Long Island IZ character.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden Jersey Shore comes out like right after that, and the Snooki slap happens, and people are like, oh, this character is based off of Jersey Shore. I can tell you point blank, it was not, because we were working on that character before Jersey Shore came out. Yeah. So that's why in my brain, 2009 is when the Snooki slap happened.
But I remember even that, like...
It was huge, though, when that happened.
When MTV was like, we won't even show that. Mm-hmm. Like, because you heard the sound, and the scream and stuff, but they censored it. And, like, MTV doesn't censor a whole lot of things besides nudity. So, like, it kind of set the... Not the bar, like kind of the understanding of like how far at that point things would be shown. So, so for like an animated show, for him to even make that motion to the back of his hand, I'm like, oh my god.
You get a view of this warehouse. The X-Men are like passed out on boxes. Wolverine and Rogue walk in, and then there was a weird like Three Ninjas reference, which I didn't know if that was supposed to be a pun or something like that tied to the movie. It was just a really awkward delivery, honestly.
Yeah, because then I got confused, because there were way more.
There were way more than Three Ninjas. Yes. Yeah.
Also, shout out. I think I'm mutuals on TikTok with one of the Three Ninjas. I think that's the movie he's in.
Is it Mike, the one who has the dojo in Canada?
Yeah. Oh, not Canada.
Yes.
Is it Canada?
No, it's not Canada. Colorado. Sorry, Colorado.
And he was a Power Ranger. He's a Red Ranger.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Mike. I don't know why you'd be listening to this, but like he actually had a really great observation. I'll let you watch this video about Mr. Brightside. He had an observation about like why it's called Mr. Brightside. It's like a play on word.
Okay.
Like that. I guess it's easy to explain. He was like, what if the song is about like a guy who sees his partner doing better with another person, and he's like, I missed her bright side. And I was like, and I commented, I was like, you just noticed something that I never clocked, and that is super plausible. But anyway,
so here's what we could do because of the new features on Instagram. We will do the repost feature for that video when Rod finds it, and that'll be in, because now there's that whole like repost thing, like on TikTok and shit.
I think
but on your profile there is a feed that is any of your reposts too. So if we say it's in our reposts, and obviously we're not going to go crazy reposting 10 million things, that will be in there. Hopefully Rod finds it by the time of this.
Yeah, well, it was really recently, so it was in the last couple days.
All right. Also, you got access to the account. So.
Also, that explains why I was actually, when I was at the dentist today, I was scrolling through Instagram when I was waiting on my blood transfusion or whatever they were doing. And I was like, why does my feed suck right now? I think it's from the repost, because like I don't follow any of these accounts. My entire feed was all accounts I don't follow, and that must have been it. Because I'm like, I normally see that from like the thing that they, you know, try to insert stuff, but it's not that much. I think I scrolled for like that 10 minutes I was waiting, and it was just like accounts I've never seen before.
So my feed right now is K-pop Demon Hunters, Lizard,
the button, yeah.
The fact that the Power Rangers debuted in Fortnite today, and then everybody losing their fucking minds about the location thing being automatically turned on people's profile.
So, I saw that. I turned mine off, but like, most CEO, I think, of Instagram, he did a thing when he announced it. I watched this before the feature actually went live, and either he's lying or people are misunderstanding it. It defaults to off, but you have to opt into it. But I think the design mistake is when you go into the option, nothing is chosen yet. And so I think if he's telling the truth and it's an opt-in only, huge design mistake by whoever decided to do that. It should have just defaulted to like not on, so that, because when you go into it, looks like it's on. Yeah, but what he said,
it literally pings your location for that first time you're in there when you're deciding which one you want it to be.
Yeah, according
this will all be solved in 2 weeks by the time this episode goes live anyway.
According to him, it even though it pings, it doesn't broadcast it, but it is disconcerting that it registers where you are the first time.
Again, back to the show.
Yeah.
So Wolverine's initial gut check is, these are trained assassins, Rogue, you have to leave. And then Rogue does the coolest fucking thing that she's done in this entire show, where she literally face palms two of these guys. So she learned both of their key sets of skills to do the ninja stuff, and is a total badass while doing it. Because not only has she absorbed their powers, but she has whatever strength and durability and all that shit that she already has as a character from the beginning on this, which I fucking loved.
Yeah, I loved it because wasn't she like good?
It was kind of the Matrix moment, right?
Yeah, I learned kung fu.
Yeah, it felt like that vibe in a very good way to me.
Yeah, so. I kind of I got on the outside of like movies and stuff. I remember there's a story about Prince playing the Super Bowl halftime show, and all the producers are like, "Who's going to be the one that has to call Prince to tell him it's raining?" And whoever drew the short straw was like, "Prince, yes." It's like, "It's raining," and then Prince was like, "Can you make it rain harder?" Like I got that energy from this. She's like, "Good."
Okay. Good. I've never heard that before, but that's amazing.
I cry every time I think about that story like this.
But I will say, as this fight is happening and like Wolverine and Rogue are kicking ass, there's one or two times where there's like a hit that happens off screen that totally gave me the impression that somebody died.
My note here was Rogue does a slash that definitely killed someone.
Yeah, like you and I are on that same spot.
She did like the X slash thing, then every other like ninja movie means that I don't know how it works, but it slashes their chest and then they instantly die. I don't know if that's like an artery thing or something, but like
we're not going to experiment and try. So, but then also, I don't know if you picked up on it. At one point, Wolverine does like a square off with some of the other ninjas, and he literally does like the Bruce Lee taunt, like with his claws still out, where he does the like this thing.
Yeah.
So it was. Of everything, this was my favorite scene just because it was really fantastic fight choreo, and Rogue felt like a total badass here.
So. Which is really cool. I kind of wonder how that, how that works, like with the choreo, like I don't know,
like how the scripting of something that
like
works?
how you describe it, especially because we know that these are like often animated overseas and stuff, like how that,
yeah. We should legitimately ask that when we finally interview Jake from X-Men 97, because he could actually tell us something like that. So, because we're not asking for spoilers of season 2, so.
Jake, let's get you drunk and then get all the inside.
Disclaimer: we are not going to do that. We are not going to put Jake's career at risk for that. But then you get smoke popping up in the background once everybody is knocked out, and Silver Samurai is there with somebody else. I knew the name Ogun, but I didn't remember why I knew the name Ogun. It is not him. The sensei that Wolverine has his flash forward back with later with Xavier, that's actually Sensei Ogun. Oh, okay. But I still was like, is that the guy? It was not.
I don't know.
But it was just like,
guy.
Is the name according to the IMDb is Yakuza Leader. Like, that's literally what his name is.
Sure.
So. But also, same voice actor as Sensei Ogun. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who was the voice actor? So this was one of the things I was like, okay, this is one of the not great things that's like an artifact of the 2000s.
So James Sie, S-I-E.
Okay, so it was probably like an Asian actor.
Yeah, he has been in Jackie Chan Adventures, Kung Fu Panda, Avatar: The Last Airbender. He was Splinter in a Ninja Turtles video game, or is that
okay,
Ninja Turtles video game. So yeah, it was an Asian actor.
Okay, so. This toes like an interesting line just because like Jackie Chan was Splinter in the latest Ninja Turtles movie, and it's just like, man, it's really. And I have friends that are Asian American comedians and stuff, and like when you go into like the accent, that's a tightrope to to walk. And in the late 2000s, to have that sensei character, the sensei character was brief. I'll give him that, but. It was playing with the fire there.
Yeah, according to the IMDb, it was all actors of Asian descent.
Okay, so. Gotcha.
Yeah, because I'm not sure. I don't want to say the name wrong. First name Keone.
I'm not familiar.
That was Harada's voice actor.
Gotcha.
And then Gwendolyn Yao. Yeo is how her last name is spelled. That was Mariko's voice actor. Okay. So, at least it wasn't Stephen Bloom doing it. You know,
the Yakuza leader was interesting to me because, like, I guess it makes sense now in hindsight that he would be the one trying to get him or trying to oversee everything for him to get in. But I was like, what is this random? Like, he was kind of like a Shang Tsung character where he's like, fight, you know?
Yeah. But because Silver Samurai had smoked out Wolverine, it was like, well, there's no honor in beating somebody who's already like knocked on their ass. So you want to do this, you're going to do it the right way. And then Wolverine passes out effectively. Yeah,
they said that they're going to do the fight the next day with just katanas. And maybe this was just because I think this was I can't remember. This was a few hours ago before my whole like.
It's fine. I'll fill in the blanks.
But I think there was like a little bit of an animation glitch or error there, because the Silver Samurai I think is talking, and then at a point they cut away to the Yakuza leader and his mask is moving like he's talking, and I think there might have been like there was supposed to be like a line split there, but they just kept the animation going for people talking. I don't know. You can go back and watch it. I think that's what happens. I was like, who's talking right now?
I mean, I watched it through twice and I didn't notice that, so who knows? Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, very brief, because it's a very brief cutaway.
Yep. So, back at the mansion, Wolverine is talking to Xavier in the astral plane, and Xavier brings up, well, why is he doing this? Don't the Yakuza operate with a code of honor and things like that? And I think it's really funny that Xavier's like fought these like horrible people around the world, like criminal organizations and stuff like that. And he's like, but don't they adhere to a code of honor? It's like, yeah, dude, but even the best organizations, there's going to be some lunatic who's going to go off the rails.
Yeah.
Like the mob never would have gotten caught had everybody done only the shit they were supposed to do. Let's be real.
And he was like, yeah, Silver Surfer doesn't have that same code of honor. But also I was kind of questioning the
Samurai, not Surfer.
Samurai. Samurai. God, that's all we'll say. I've been watching some of those movies. But Silver Samurai doesn't have that code of honor. But also, I was confused on the Yakuza's code of honor because they also kidnapped like a dozen people. That had nothing to do with the Yakuza.
Right. And Wolverine then kind of like has a little bit of like, I don't want to call it a self-pity moment, but he's like, I used to be a samurai, and then I've been on the streets too long, which I don't think that phrase works the same in 2025.
Yeah.
I get what the intent was, but it sounded off given the current use of that phrase.
He said Sabretooth and so he said Sabretooth turned him into a savage. And I'm also just now reading my notes, realizing what he said. My notes said, who are the Martys? And I just realized that's the MRD.
He's been saying this since like the second episode.
I'm tired and have drugs in my
You're
body.
Fine. You're recording this after minor facial surgery, so that's we're cool. Good, Rod. Cool, yeah. Anybody who's made it this far into the episode, give Rod some love in the comments to whatever service you are listening to this on. Also, his mouth is not bleeding, which is a good thing.
That's good. I can't feel it still, so
good. Don't keep touching it. And it was like, you as a samurai, you used to train every day, and because I haven't done that in so long, I forgot. And then no boundaries Xavier just goes into his mind and pulls up his old sensei, who is just a cranky old fucker. There's no nice way to describe this guy.
He was, like I said, I'm glad he was brief because he was weird. I get what they're saying. They're trying to do like their version of Mr. Miyagi, but kind of a jerk. Or like the lieutenant from Full Metal Jacket? Thank you, sir. May I have another guy? Yeah, I guess I can see that. It was interesting because it was like this training montage, I guess in his mind, which I don't know.
It was also very Matrixy.
Yeah, it's Matrixy, and I think I also I guess that's a better point. Yeah, it's very Matrixy, and like it left off on this thing that I don't know if I would have gotten the joke if I was like a younger child watching this. Granted, by the time this show came out, I was like an adult, but like
we were legal adults at this point.
Adult air quotes. But they finished their fight, and the sensei's like, he's terrible, and like, but
he doesn't make me nauseous and disgust or something like that.
But then Logan's like, that's the best compliment I get from him. Is like, I don't know if that joke would read for children.
No, it would not.
But I guess it's like good enough. About 90 seconds of training.
Yep. So they come out of the flashback. There is a street at night, and Wolverine shows up in his robes, and there's some of the ninjas on the roof. And Silver Samurai pops out. He has the sword, and like I said, the sword is still powered up. Like you still see the visual representation that he's using his power. It felt like that note didn't make it to the animation team.
Yeah.
Mariko is begging, and then you get this whole moment that it was never about Silver Samurai being into her. It was just straight up, I wanted her, so you couldn't have her. And he's been with this woman for, again, our assumption is roughly a decade.
Yeah.
So it's a horrible relationship that probably has domestic violence that is alluded to, and the whole fact that it's like, oh, this was just to make you jealous. I don't actually give a shit about this person.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's a little bit less surprising to me, mostly because like my folks are of a generation where it was a new idea for them not to have an arranged marriage in Korean culture and stuff, and so like. Then when they started off the story about like fighting for the honor of a woman to marry her, I was like, okay, this is really old school, like centuries old school. So them being married is more of like a political move than anything, or a societal move.
Right, because earlier on it was like, well, my family wanted me to marry him because he was Japanese nobility, but it's like, if you're nobility, you also shouldn't be getting into the criminal organization. That like those two things counter each other, right?
Maybe, I guess, but I guess there's a whole like kingpin mob. I don't know, like is somebody in the government. I don't know, but like
Italian American nobility is actually just mafia.
Yeah, there you go.
And now there's a hit on first. Great. So again, you see the sword charge. The fight starts, And very quickly, Wolverine is able to get into a spot where he has a kill shot, and he refuses to take it, so he starts talking. Ends up still fighting, and, you know, it just... Samurai is just not good enough at this. He's not a good enough fighter without cheating, basically.
Yeah, and I guess also, like I said earlier, I don't know if he's naturally, like, strong. I guess he was still, if he's, I don't know if he's, like, naturally strong, or if he just has, like, a cool sword with magic or something.
Mutant power, yeah.
So, I don't know, like, yeah, I'm still unclear on, like, what's actually their powers and if everybody's just generally strong. I guess, like, I said earlier, like, in episodes ago, like, we're just going to assume everyone's stronger than normal if you're a mutant. So.
Oh, and actually, it's after the first time where he doesn't do the kill shot. That's where he says, "Oh, Mariko keeps looking at you. She's gonna pay for your impudence." And that's when I never really loved her.
Yeah.
So, because I wrote down the note, he married her just to cock block Wolverine. Wolverine ends up knocking his helmet off, has a second chance to do a kill shot, and that's when the Silver Samurai charges his sword and, you know, ends up just slicing Wolverine's sword in half at that point, and he finally gets the upper hand. And then Wolverine looks over, sees her, he's going to adhere to the code, and Silver Samurai does, like, that big leaping jump with a sword over his shoulder. And of all the ways that fight was going to end, I was not expecting the Yakuza guy to throw his sword and just intercept the attack. I was put a betting pool in front of me, and that's the 75-1 odds that I wouldn't have chosen.
It's funny because it's almost like an anime thing, right? Like, where, like, some other entity comes in, like a higher power comes in. Because I've been rewatching Ronin Warriors, because that's the show I liked when I was a kid. And that happens every once in a while. The Ronin Warriors are fighting the Outworld people and stuff. And then randomly this guy, I think he's supposed to be like one of the gods, like Raiden or something, comes out of the sky and just throws a staff and stops the fight. And I haven't gotten far enough to the series to see if they have, like, actually explained that, or if he just stops the fight for the sake of runtime. And so, like, it feels like that's kind of what Yakuza dude does here. I mean, obviously he's calling out the cheating, but he's like, nope, we're going to end this right now. Like, because there's 90 seconds left in this episode.
And then they knock him out with gas, and that just kind of, like, ends the whole thing. And they're like, yep, he's going to be on the outs with us. He fucked up because he violated our code.
And that's what's weird is, like, even if you're as, like, much of an a-hole as Silver Samurai, well, you're doing it right in front of the guy who's making the decision, because the credits say he's a Yakuza leader. So you're going to, like, not just the sword thing, everything else, like the gas, the, like, yelling about not loving his wife, and, like, it's just everything.
Yeah. To be fair, they all as a group probably treat women like shit, though, so he's not as concerned on that side. But just the whole, you know, Wolverine's not going to go for the kill shot on you. Like, he's not that person, and yet you won't just keep trying to fight him. Eventually, maybe you're going to get lucky and accidentally stab him in the face. You know?
Yeah, or he'll fall on something.
Yeah, exactly. He finally just gets drunk and tired and falls over onto the sword. They have a quick moment with Wolverine and Mariko, and, you know, it's just the whole, well, why'd you tell me to leave the first time? And it's because no matter what, you were gonna die. So even if you had won and killed Harada, they still would have killed you anyway because you were a Gaijin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
so. She said that was basically, like, the most honorable thing for her to do was to tell him to leave, because that's what saves his life.
I missed that detail. I think this is about the time I noticed the zit on my gums. Because my note here is Mariko is Catholic because she can't marry the person she wants, and
valid.
Because, like, I don't know, you understand the Catholic stuff more than I do because I didn't grow up in it, but, like, I grew up Protestant. But, like, I did have, like, a store manager at my first job in high school that was, like, a devout Catholic, and I think I might have mentioned this on this podcast before, but I found out, like, later in high school that the man that I thought was her husband was not her husband, but she has not lived with her husband for 20 years because she was a devout Catholic, and you're not allowed to get divorced, right?
I don't know. My parents got divorced.
So she was still legally married to the man she married, like, 20 years prior, but living with her actual partner
Okay.
out of the religion.
Uh-huh.
I was like, okay. So that's why I put it out. He's like, Mariko doesn't make any sense.
No. But she's also going to stay with him because she made her vow, and it's like
that's why I said
that's the part.
Yeah. She's like, I made my vows. He's like, yeah, I don't know. He was gonna slap you.
Yeah, and then it was like, well, Wolverine didn't kill him, even though he could have. And she said, well, that wouldn't have been the man that she loved. And I put the comment that I hate this because if this guy is a samurai in modern day Japan, like, so one, you already have a disbelief about like the way of the code of a samurai in the modern era, but it's like Wolverine killed a shit ton of people and continues to kill people like throughout his career, like, and maybe they're taking it easy because it's the cartoon and shit like that, but like the whole point of Wolverine is he's the guy who does the stuff that's uncomfortable for other people to do. Like, you put him into a room when you have to take out somebody, like, if it was Wolverine versus the Joker would be dead. The only reason that Sabretooth doesn't stay dead is because Wolverine can't keep him dead. He's literally come back from hell to try to kill Wolverine again. So, yeah, like, him being like, that's not the man I fell in love with. So I was like, then you didn't really know Wolverine too well, I feel like.
And it's a weird thing in a meta level, like, zooming out to the real world, like, to call out something that's so core to that character. Because, like, he's like a killing machine. It's already weird not to see him kill people on animated shows. Mm-hmm. But then to like point out like, you're not a violent man. It's like, says who? Like, there's a whole sequence of Weapon X going feral in every version.
And like I said, like, he goes into those fights with like the MRD and stuff like that. You can't tell me no MRD person is getting killed when he's fighting with claws on his hands.
Actually, Come on. Him and Rogue just offed how many ninjas like 26 a minute earlier in this exact episode.
Well, that's why I always have a problem with the trope of, oh, we killed 50 people who were like nameless guards, like guys who were probably getting paid minimum wage in like the goon category. But then when it's like, I'm going to take you into justice to make sure you pay for it against the big villain, it's like, no, you would shoot that guy in the fucking head too. Right. Like, why would you not be killing that guy? Which
that detail will come back in the next episode.
Yeah, seriously. And then there's like the awkward walk off, and I think that's why like I think I had the very bad taste in my mouth from that, like, not the man I fell in love with bullshit, frankly.
It would have made a little bit more sense if she brought in something about like their rules, you know, especially because isn't the episode called Code of Conduct? Like if it was something about like, you followed the honor of the Yakuza or something,
like the code, which obviously their code is it's a fight to the death and everybody's cool about it.
Yeah,
you chose to not kill the guy in the fight to the death, which doesn't even align with the code.
Oh, so. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, like the time where they have no problem with you killing somebody is this fight. They're like, no, you should you're approving, you're better than him, so make him go dead.
Yeah.
So
all right. Good point. Yeah, but anyway, like you said, like you called it a bottle episode. I kind of think it's like one of those. Now that we know more about the different animated episodes from that era, or from the 90s and 2000s, being like sometimes stuff wouldn't come back from the overseas studios in time or have errors and stuff. This is probably one of those episodes. They were like, we need to insert this for when we need to buy some time.
It just needed to be in the second half of the season because we needed Rogue back on the team. But outside of that, like, because you had Beast get knocked out, Storm get knocked out, Nightcrawler was not shown at all, so we don't know if it would have been before or after Nightcrawler had come back from Genosha. So, you know, there's no war in there, so it couldn't have happened after the following episode and stuff like that. So it is what it is. I'm like, I don't hate anything about like the series as a whole. I hate that decision at the end of the episode, but this just didn't end up like, I didn't love the overall on it.
If you need a speed run Wolverine the X-Men, this one you can come back to later if you want to.
Yeah. Although if you have made it through an hour of our show, you're probably not speed running this show because we spoiled the whole thing for you before you watched it.
Yeah, and it also like spent the first 20 minutes talking about my mouth getting all cut up.
It was only 15. You're fine. All right. Well, we have one more to go, and I want to make sure we finish recording before Rod's mouth falls apart for the evening.
Yep.
So, thank you guys for joining us. If you have any thoughts, make sure you drop them into the comments for either the YouTube upload, the official Instagram post about this episode, or the upload on Spotify. And if you'd like what you heard, we'd appreciate a rating on the podcast app of your choosing. It makes a difference. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, and CastBox. Your cat is
Silly
just
thing.
the happiest little cat right now and doesn't give a fuck about anything.
I'm going to go check my stitches.